News First, Newsline Prime with Faraz Shaukatali.
Hello, good evening and a very warm welcome to Newsline Prime. We're live, as always, from the Newsfirst studios in Dawson Street in Colombo, and what a wonderful day it has been. Weather-wise, it's lovely, it's magical, as is always in lovely, beautiful Sri Lanka. This evening, many things have happened in the Parliament, and the political conundrum, that some call it a constitutional crisis, appears to be sort of abating. And that's very good news for the country. And we're here, we're joined by Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa, a member of Parliament from the JVP. Very good evening to you, Dr. Jayatissa.
Very good evening to you.
Lovely to see you here, and you seem to have arrived in good time.
Yeah.
Now then, what I want to know is, so all these sort of things are happening in Parliament. There seems to be a political impasse, a stalemate almost. What's the role of the JVP? You don't want Ranil, you don't want Minder, and then we are told this, the coffee shops are saying this. They're saying that the JVP is actually the red UNP. Is that true?
Anyone can blame, but the real situation in the country is, I mean, we are observing a political turmoil since October 26th night.
Yeah.
So now it takes more than 1 month. Our stand is very clear. We will not support anyone to become the premier in the Parliament.
Yeah.
But we work to defeat this political coup because it harms the country, it harms the democracy of the country, as well as it harms the civilized political style of the country. You see, for last 33 days, what happened since October 26th night, the series of political activities. I mean, they keep the Parliament side, and especially the President, he has the main responsibility to protect the constitution and law of the country.
That's
because
true.
He was the common candidate to restore the democracy of the country in 2015 presidential election.
Do you know, Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa, I hear what you say, and you're absolutely right. That is the responsibility of the President.
Yeah.
And then, when the President shows displeasure about all sorts of corruption that's happening in his government, and he points the blame via the Managing Director, that means the Prime Minister, Ranil Wickremesinghe, then all of y'all are not supporting him. The President, when he made his State of the Nation speech, he said he can't get on with Ranil Wickremesinghe. He's Morandu. He's a clique of his friends are the ones who are doing all these deals. And he very clearly told us of various corruption. He mentioned the bond, he mentioned the ETI, and he mentioned all sorts of things. So why are you all supporting a person that the President says he can't work with?
No, the JVP is not supporting any corrupted person. I mean, we are the people, we are the party exposed the bond scam on March 5th, 2015, just after 7 to 8 days after the bond scam in 27th of February.
Newsfirst did it on the 1st of March.
Yes, by media, and we revealed in the Parliament by our party leader Andrew Sanayaka in the Parliament sessions.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, and you did.
But
after that, you see, we did full investigation in the COP.
Yeah.
And we revealed everything, and we formed that anti-corruption movement, and we made some allegations, we put some complaints over FCID, police and CID. So we are always with this anti-corruption movement. So anytime we supported president to defeat the, to confront with the corruption. At that, in this scenario, even in the bond scam as well as this central highway, I mean the scam, in every moment, we stand on the side of anti-corruption. So we never support any corrupted person, even Ranil Wickremesinghe or Malik Samaravikrama or anyone. We want.
But you all are in a way, aren't you? Because by not being proactive, and really speaking, in any other democratic country in the world, this was completely, if you took the bond scam, for example, is complete and utter nonsense, because we are now in November, towards the end of November. It's 11 months after the bond report was handed over, and 11 months later, the central bank has not yet given the forensic audit.
Yes, you know, by our constitution, still the president is the head of state. He's the head of the cabinet of ministers.
Overall, he is definitely the one who's there.
Oh, and overall, he can implement the laws against anyone.
Yeah.
So he has a responsibility. I mean, he
yes,
can't.
But sometimes he needs the help of others.
Yes, he can't blame anyone. But before October 26th, if he made a statement in the parliament that he can't work with this cabinet of ministers or the prime minister, I think definitely majority of the parliamentarians will support him. But he didn't do that. He didn't ask from JVP even to support him in that battle.
Because he obviously knew your line of thinking, which is that you say you are against corruption.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who it is. So using that, he would have been legitimately within his right frame to believe that he could, not he directly, but that the Parliament could count on the support of the JVP to do the right thing.
But he should put the trust over JVP, because he has to know that we are in the battle against it corrupted movement.
So is he. So is the President.
Yes.
So, which means that you ought to have helped him more then.
But you know, during the first 2 years, we had several discussions with him. But after the incident that he removed intentionally the Director General of the Bribery Commission, in that that during the avant-garde case. So how
we talk about Mrs.
Dilrukshi Wickremesinghe. I think we appreciated her work.
But she resigned, didn't she?
No, I mean,
she resigned. She didn't get the sack.
And yes, but what she made to resign? It's not her intention. You know that the former three Navy commanders and the Gotabaya Rajapaksa involved that avant-garde incident.
But perhaps she was also getting a bit of grief from the other side, because there were, you must remember at that time, there were complaints from both sides. One was saying about the other, and the others were saying about them. So maybe she didn't want to be confronted by UNP complaints.
But do you see, after her resignation or somewhat his exit from the bribery commission, the commission is going now very smoothly and going fast? No, we can't see. That's why, I mean, we blame the president. Somehow he protected some wrongdoers. Because his mandate, he has to keep his mandate. The mandate was not to join with Mahinda Rajapaksa or other these wrongdoers.
His mandate was to address corruption. And he, after all, you can't address it in a day or two. He gave the Prime Minister, his Prime Minister, a lot of leeway. and he thought, right, well, this guy's going to do this, he's going to do it. He kept waiting and he got fed up. Everybody, any man on the street can understand that.
I mean, he can use the parliament as a platform to reveal everything. This Prime Minister and let's say the Minister of Police, Sagam Ratnayaka, they involved that matters, and they interrupted for the investigations. He should have revealed in the parliament.
He revealed it to the people instead.
After October 26th.
Yeah, but isn't that better? I mean, he didn't want, you can see the impact what's happened now. But if he had done it earlier, you know, so he gave the Prime Minister and the government a good fighting chance at delivering what they promised.
But before appointing Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa,
Yeah.
he should have revealed all these matters. Now he revealed, and he could have asked another MP in the parliament for the Prime Minister post,
Yeah.
other than Mahinda Rajapaksa.
He did. He says he asked Karu Jayasuriya, he asked Sajid Premadasa, Mr. Premadasa says he asked him 10 times.
For my knowledge, he asked during the no confidence motion, that is 5 to 6 months before. So, because he should keep in his mind that he has 6.2 million mandate.
Indeed.
Yes, in one side to restore the democracy in the country, as well as for this anti-corruption movement.
Right. Now then, today the TNA has informed the President that they would extend their support to establish a United National Front-led government as it was the status quo that existed before the 26th of October.
Yes.
Is that what's going to happen tomorrow? What's going to happen tomorrow?
Anyway,
Let's
tomorrow,
hear it first on Newsline.
Tomorrow there will be another vote.
Yeah.
Anyway, by the 6th time, this purported government will lose. I mean, we have a
For
motion.
the 6th time?
6th time, yes, because now during 2 no confidence motions, they lost.
Yeah.
Then today, motion.
When you say lost, who lost?
I mean, these
The opposition.
the so-called government, the Prime Minister.
Mr. Rajapaksa.
Yes, Rajapaksa's faction.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So they lost 2 votes of no confidence.
Yet then on 15th of November, there was a division against Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa's speech. Then when we appointing the select committee on 23rd, then after that, today, we have the motion to cut down the expenditure of Prime Minister's office, and tomorrow there will be motion to cut the expenditure over other ministerial officers.
Right.
So definitely the movement against the coup will have more than 122 votes in the parliament. Still we are in the
But, Doctor, you know, they say that the court of conscience is the highest court. It's not the Supreme Court, but it's the court of conscience, right?
Yes.
Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
All right. In that case, if you agree on that, isn't it true that so the dynamics, the makeup of Parliament has changed dramatically now? And if they go to the polls, they know jolly well that a lot of people are not going to get elected. Because this is a mandate given back in August 2015.
But the people has given the mandate.
Yes, but
for 5 years.
Yes, but then we come into another little problem, because the 19th Amendment is basically quite flawed, isn't it? Because the franchise of the people has been put on hold for 4.5 years without asking the people.
No, that you see that clause 72.
Yeah.
Earlier we had a limitation to the president that he can't dissolve the parliament for 1 year.
Yes.
It extended up to 4.5 years
Yeah.
because In our political system,
But that's a significant change. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I voted, I wanted them in. For example, when I voted for the president, I wanted the president in for his full term. Now, in between, we find the Supreme Court saying, oh no, excuse me, it's only 5 years. You know, how about asking me? How about asking the people?
it's Supreme Court decision.
Well, there you go, exactly. But there's no such decision on the 4.5-year term. You have, through the back door, given us a fixed term parliament.
No, it has passed in the parliament by 2/3.
Yes, but that's a huge change.
No, anyway, right.
And the people were not asked.
Right.
That's my point.
What JVP observes in this parliament,
Yeah.
now this parliament does not show the mandate of the people.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
But by the constitution, we have to follow the constitution, and we want 2/3 majority to dissolve the parliament.
Right.
Right? So after defeating this coup,
Yeah.
and after the restoration of the normal political scenario in this country, we are okay to face the general election.
Can I just stop you for 1 minute, please? Because you're forgetting a little important point.
What?
That this national government was between two parties.
Yeah.
The UNF, which is a registered political party,
Yeah.
and the UPFA, also a registered political party. And therefore, when they joined together, the provisions of the 19th Amendment kicked in, and you were able to have more than 30 members of in the cabinet.
Yes.
All right? So when the UPFA opted out of that, there was this lot, all on their own, with 106. And at that time, they couldn't obviously run along to the speaker and say, oh yeah, hang on, but we've got another 7 people, or we've got the support. Why couldn't they have gone to the TNA? Why didn't the TNA give them a letter then? Your 6 would have been just about enough. No, not quite. They needed 1 more, right? So they were not able to do that. And when they withdrew, then the cabinet became unconstitutional.
No, we will never support to form a UNF government for our 6 MP, our 6 votes. Anyway, we observed that there were minority governments in the country. Minority governments can exist until the no confidence motion put forward in the parliament.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So even in 2004 government, when the alliance, we had 105 seats.
Yeah.
But after 2-3 months, the JHU supported by their 9 votes.
Yeah.
Anyway, in this constitution, there's no clause. After the dissolution of the national government, what happened to the Prime Minister and the Cabinet of Ministers? There's only 2 clauses connected to the national government. One is the definition of the national government. Other one is the number of ministers should decide by the parliament in national government.
But Doctor...
Yes, let me say.
Yeah.
And in this constitution, it says very clearly that there are some conditions the parliament is able to expel the Prime Minister and the Cabinet of Ministers.
Yes, but you are... At the moment, the Supreme Court is being asked to look at to give an opinion on the constitutionality and so on of the whole thing. Now then...
But that time, in this particular time, the Supreme Court is not deciding this factor.
Yeah, but why, come on. They said 4th, 5th and 6th to argue, to hear the arguments.
That is dissolution of the parliament.
That's right. And in all fairness and all likelihood, they'll probably take a week. Who knows? But let's say a week. That's a reasonable time. So they would probably give their opinion on the 15th of December. Why can't all of y'all in Parliament behave like good boys and girls and not create so much of fuss? Breaking chairs, Public Property Act. They should be behind bars, I'm sorry. Why? What's the indecent hurry? Why? Why the hurry? One lot don't want to have elections. The other one wants to have elections. The people who say we don't want to have elections, but we'll come into parliament first and then call. You know, this is all going nowhere, is it?
JVP is ready to face the election, no problem.
Yeah.
But you can see how they behave in the parliament during the parliament, the election inside the parliament.
Okay.
As you said, they broke the chairs and they threw these chili powders and they attack even the policemen. So if they behaved such a violence during the parliament by focusing all the cameras and observing all the public in this public platform, so how will they act in the general election outside the parliament? That's our problem. We need fair election, we need peaceful election. So before going to the general election,
there's no suggestion that the elections will not be peaceful. The country is quite peaceful. I've just been around all over the place.
No, I mean, this is really a political coup. I mean, we don't know what is the outcome after the 7th of December. Maybe people will come to the street and they will show their anger.
Well, I put it to you that the majority of the people of this country are liberal-minded, liberal thinking.
Yes.
And they are peace-loving and they have no desire to enter into violence.
That's why we are trying we are trying maximum to settle it inside the parliament as well as the Supreme Court.
But inside the parliament, with all due respect, wherever it's due, we have a speaker who is obviously, I mean, in the view of, I'm just taking the public view, okay? I hear lots of people tell me the same thing, that this speaker has simply not been independent. When you're speaker, you must forget the party that you came from. He seems to have some difficulty in doing that. Why is that? He was a very nice man until he did this, and everybody's got very fed up with him.
If you can show me the instances that he violated the standing orders of the Constitution, then I can accept.
But honestly, when he did that voice vote, and he said ayes, have you? Come on, he's how old is he? 74, 75?
Yes.
And he heard things that we didn't hear. Come on, this is a matter of changing the government. You can't. Why couldn't he just say, listen, you guys behave yourself. Now we are now going to take an electronic vote, or we'll come back and only do it that way.
Voice vote is accordance with the 47(1) of the standing order.
Yes.
Anyway, if someone has a doubt over the voice vote,
but the president seemed to have had a doubt.
Yes, right. We, as the parliamentarians, we signed 102 MPs. These are the signatures responsible for this voice vote.
Right.
And we defeated this perpetrated government in 3 times by voice vote, and now 2 times by the electronic vote.
Right.
If the president really needs to accept the majority of the parliament, he can see the voice vote as well as our manual votes by our signatures and the digital vote in the electronic system.
I just want to make a point to you. You know, when you had this no confidence motion, so many things happened. By the way, thank you very much for the messages. We're getting them in. I'll take a message. Okay, we'll take this message first then. Okay. This is no bigger coup. There is no bigger coup than the way the 19th Amendment was passed. What do you think about that?
19th Amendment first went to the court, then it passed by the 2/3 majority of the parliament. As JVP, we can say that the whole 19th Amendment...
Isn't it flawed? Isn't it flawed? Because the public, there was never a referendum. Isn't it flawed? because the public must be able to vote, for heaven's sake.
Right, that's right. But for the whole 1978 amendment, the Constitution, or the all 19 amendments, there is never taken the referendum from the public. So that's why we expect, or at least the 20th amendment, we expect a two-third majority in the parliament as well as the referendum. But now I think we need a new constitution abolishing the executive presidency, and we want the parliamentary democracy.
Right.
So it should go to the public, and we will need the mandate of the people.
But do you agree that when you have a no confidence motion against the Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and his government, it does not mean that it is a vote of confidence for Ranil Wickremesinghe?
That's right. That's right.
You agree with that, right?
I mean, we always clearly saying that we never vote for Ranil Wickremesinghe for the Prime Minister post, right? We voted in 5 times during the parliament sessions only to defeat this political coup. We have no another intention to restore the Ranil Wickremesinghe's government.
But by doing that, by doing what you say you did, in a way you were supporting Ranil Wickremesinghe, which is why people are saying that the JVP is actually the red UNP.
No, I mean, if the president thinks that the JVP is able to run the country at least for 3 months or 4 months,
yeah,
he could have appointed Anurag Sanayaka as the Prime Minister.
Is that what you want?
No.
With 6 members in
but
Parliament.
We will restore the democracy, and we will give the people a fair and peaceful election. Then people can decide which party could run the government well, I mean the country well. So
can you make a quick prediction? Yes. I know your name, you're not Sumana Dasan, but still. Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa, can you tell us how, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely is it that we will have a general election soon, within, I don't know, 6 weeks?
No. I mean, if the court that depends on the court.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
what will happen in Parliament is what I'm saying.
I think Parliament takes time to decide, at least 2-3 months to go for the general election.
So will there be an election within, let's say, 2 months?
No, 2 months. 3 months in the next year.
3 months?
First 3 months of the next year.
By March.
Yeah, by March. Actually, we promised the country
that
we will submit a resolution to the Parliament that
very quickly.
Now we have to go for the election, general election.
Right. Very quickly. Do you think that that is what the people want? Your ears to the ground? What do you feel? What are you hearing?
I think, first of all, people want to stabilize the country first. Then we can go for the election. Stabilization and the people's mandate.
Have you forgotten the way how the 18th Amendment was passed, etc., etc.? But unfortunately, all good things must come to an end, and Newsline Prime has come to an end. Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa, thank you very much.
Thank you.
30 minutes has just flown. Yes, indeed. Let's pray the theme, country first. Thank you very much. Take care. Good night, and God bless.
These are the political, economical and social problems in the country. Divide the classroom into 2 and hold a debate. This group to my right will speak for the topic, and the group to my left will oppose the topic. Now, it is better if you do it the way they do it in the parliament, like the ruling party and the opposition. Use that.
Thank you. We hope to take this country forward for the midterm projects in the country. The people of this country are suffering.
Stop! I did not ask you to debate like how they would in parliament to start a fight. It was to build this country.
Think. Never vote them into parliament again. Our future and our children's future depends on it.
News First, Newsline Prime with Faraz Shaukat Ali.